Alright, let's rebuff.
Rules are made to be
Since we lost a little bit of our buffs there. Or the previous fight, I should say.
Yes.
Alright. We got our last mythic rank. You gain spell resistance equal to your stealth bonus -10. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's improved critical, improved critical, and I think there's an improved critical. It's kind of silly, I know. We'll go mythic point blank. Yep. And what it does is it increases your critical range. Yeah, it's basically like on my main character, I think my crit range is like 13 to 20. Okay. What other energy types can she do? Not much. She has her sonic, but not much else she can do unless we
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
put the
So it was restless.
bracers on
I
her
wonder why.
that give her electricity. Okay.
I welcome your company.
Remove blindness on them.
Patricium Turino. Patricium Turino. Patricium Turino.
Don't think anyone else has it. Okay.
Smile. The world's not ending just
Patricium
yet.
Turino.
Question is, can we camp here? Amber tells the best jokes. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Trust in yourself.
All right, we're good there.
Your voice.
All right, moving on.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Should not have come here. I, Arilu Vorlesh, the one you call the Betrayer, have nothing to offer you but death. Karamzadeh, I will give you the chance to avenge your death. Rise.
No.
Curse you, mortal scum! You have struck ice into my heart. I will devour your souls.
We have to fight this asshole again. Oh, they're attacking the camp.
Close ranks.
Okay. Well, this is gonna suck. But at least we have everyone, right?
I will resist.
Oh, shit. Shit. Alright. That's not good. We did not prepare everyone. Damn.
Dashani Sabitur.
Spell resistance.
The spell's not working. The spell's not working.
Wormzada Reborn.
Tactical retreat. No.
All right.
Prepare yourself.
don't know what the hell that just did. There went Quorums, da. That was easy enough.
Vengeance!
Alright. Does he have heal at least?
Patrizio Turinos!
You are nothing before.
Get him, Regil. Hit him with that weird again. Or, you know, don't. Beautiful.
I will rip them in halves.
So we have 4 mobs left. They're chasing them down. Jesus.
Desna, guide my hand.
So many misses.
Patrizio Turinos!
Ba, er, riti.
Give people haste.
I will crush them.
Beautiful. All right. Now we start focusing the other direction, because I think that's clear there. Nothing that way.
Tea Ordos! Retreat is not an option.
These scum.
Come at me.
What you sow.
Beautiful.
Kneel before me.
Kneel before Zod.
I will rip them.
Gorgeous. Get back here, Queen.
This one's mine.
A little obnoxious chasing them down.
Bajani Savitur.
Spell resistance.
Press the attack.
Nav, air, orma.
We'll crush them.
Enemosi Travisi.
Yeah, why not?
Retreat is not an option.
Nav, air.
Here we go. Is there gonna be more? Guess not. Reach the end. Echo.
The mortal who ventured recklessly into the abyss has now reached threshold. In Iz, you struck down my creator and master Daskari. But if that makes you dismissive of his echo, if you think I do not pose a threat, then you are greatly mistaken.
You didn't want to fight me in the abyss, so why are you here now?
I was hunting the hand of the inheritor in the abyss, not you. And what a good hunt it was. But now things are different. Now you are the prey I covet more than anything else.
Where is Daskari? Is he too afraid to fight me personally?
Master is in the abyss, in his realm. No, he does not wish to meet with you yet. A demon lord cannot afford 2 deaths in succession. It will kill them permanently.
Yes, I know. Out of my way.
No, I'm not afraid of your threats, and there's nothing you could offer me that would make me withdraw. He lost to you. He lost. The great Daskari himself lost to a mortal. So what happens if I succeed when the great lord failed?
What happens if you fail?
Echo destroys the one its originator could not defeat. Who would that make me? What would it prove? I'll risk my life to know. You are not just my enemy. You are my chance. A chance I won't miss.
Okay, then. Alright, trick fate on land. And we move up.
Avronda gratior.
Good amount of HP. But land's got something for that.
You had your chance.
The light, take you.
You won't survive me.
Just like Daskari.
Did you see that? I got this.
Goodbye.
It's my line of work.
Okay. Echo Daskari. One shit. Nothing to see here. Move along. Quick save. Over here. Maybe not. Oh,
Let's see.
down here. All right. The Relu.
This is where it happened. It was here that I conducted the ritual, sewing my soul and the essence of the abyss together, feeling the world change around me as every stitch brought Galarian closer to the abyss. And it was here that even though you have no memory of it, I did the same to your soul. A researcher must not have any personal feelings for the subjects of their experiments. And yet, I find myself unable to remain completely detached from the world wound. I created it. I allowed it to be. It holds a place in my heart, even if I'm slowly paying for it with my life.
Slowly? How slowly?
A researcher must be particularly resilient in the face of mistakes, incorrect hypotheses, and failed experiments. You are my failed experiment. I think I'll feel some regret for ending your current life. But you can rest assured that such sentiments will not stop me.
I can tell you've been preparing this place for battle, but there's more to it, am I right? Since barrier spells waiting to be activated, and there's something else, something deadly.
You're so adept at magic. Of course, I've been preparing for our meeting. And hopefully I've prepared well.
You've done all this just to save your child.
Yes. And no. Even if I could have brought back my son, I wouldn't have stopped at that. I wouldn't have been satisfied. Not after what I'd gone through. Not after the things I'd learned. I wanted to become stronger. And I wished the same for my child. I didn't want to be afraid of anything. It wasn't the dogs of Threshold, or even Sarkoris itself, that threatened us. It was the laws of a world governed by death, weakness, and separation. That is why I needed the power of the Nehindrian crystals. I did not wish to merely stave off the agony of the wound. I wanted to tear my son from the grasp of everything that makes us weak and mortal. You have
Strip him of his
seen the
humanity.
goddess. You have been face to face with demon lords. Were you awed by their greatness? Do you enjoy living in a world where your entire life cycle has been predetermined?
But it hasn't been.
Where everything, from your birth to what will happen to your soul after you die, has been decided for you? Or do you find, now that you have experienced the mythic power coursing through your blood, that you prefer to live in a world that you can change? A world that offers you a chance to be anything you want.
Oh yes, this power is magnificent. I would choose no other fate.
How strange. You are a kindred spirit. We are so alike. Perhaps the experiment wasn't such a failure in the end. But no. No.
Why'd you call me your failed experiment?
When I poured what was left of my son's soul into your soul, I was expecting it to bring him back. They say death and the judgment of Pharasma purges the soul of everything it once was in life. But this cannot be true. I have researched this subject meticulously and have collected enough evidence to prove that supernatural beings born from mortal souls can recall their past. Sometimes partially, sometimes fully.
Okay.
I watched you day and night, waiting for it to happen. For your memory to awaken, or your instincts at least. For anything familiar, something I could immediately recognize. I tested you. I asked you questions and... nothing. Nothing.
You merged the remnants of your son's soul with mine. So why do you want to harm me?
If a hypothesis is proven wrong, it needs to be rejected. But the research process does not stop there. That is all I can tell you right now.
You've been carrying the wound in your soul for a long time. Does that mean you'll die soon?
It will kill me eventually. But I still have some time left. Years. Or decades, perhaps. But it doesn't matter. One of us will die today.
What will happen if one of us steps into the wound?
The tearing of the soul, followed by a cruel and terrible death. But it will likely be quick.
I have no more questions.
And it's finally time to end all this.
The wound may be killing our souls, but we can find a way to solve this without bloodshed.
Asking me to stop is like asking a river not to flow, or a volcano not to erupt.
Too good to be true.
Death is not the end. I have spent 100 years trying to prove it, and I will not stop now. This experiment was unsuccessful, but that just means I need to adjust the initial conditions and try again. I am still alive. I still have time. You, the current you, will have to die. But only to surrender the soul you share with my son. I will start over. This time I will do everything differently. I will work with even greater precision. I will turn the world upside down if I must.
Didn't you do that already?
I promise.
Okay.
Simply business.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Oh, we don't have. Do have true seeing. All right. So we'll debuff.
Endure this!
All right. Turn it off deadly aim then. Much HP does she have? Okay.
It's your time to cease to exist.
No glory without risk!
Do that. Throughout the prayer. Let's dispel her. Dispelled shield and heroism. Haste. There's a Sonic True Seeing. Sea Mantle. Wow. She had a lot of stuff on her. Freedom of movement, Arc Skin, Foresight, Echolocation, and Death Ward. Okay.
Make every strike count.
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
Damn you! You're in my way.
The light touch you!
Let's have him do the spell as well. Resist cold, mind blank. Need to get rid of displacement. Unholy aura, resist ass. Displacement's still there. Resist fire. Oh, she just healed the fool. Okay. Looks like displacement wore off. Okay. Shit.
You had your chance.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
There you go. What's up? Do we have haste scrolls? Yes.
You've crossed the wrong monster. Are you still here?
Yes.
Simply business.
Okay. Spell again. Okay. Nothing more that we can dispel.
You won't survive me.
right, trick fade again.
It's your time to cease to exist.
Why does she keep healing like that? Hey Roscoe, good morning. Vulnerable to fire, good to know.
Into the fray!
Let's see if I can see.
There we go. Probably just
I never
phase one.
thought that I would be responsible for the creation of my most powerful enemy.
You've hidden yourself well, Suture, but I can still see you.
Sniffed me out, did you? I can hide very well now, thanks to the power you gave me. A shame I couldn't use your little gift to stab you in the back.
Listen to me, you called me a failed experiment. What if you're wrong?
I would be overjoyed to discover that I am wrong. I tried to hope, even though there was no hope left. But wait, why do you care? Why are you trying to change my mind?
I am myself. I am my own person, not your resurrected child. Yet, I still feel a connection to you.
A connection. A spiritual kinship. That is so strange. But what makes you think I will listen to your arguments? I have gone too far to turn back. I must walk the path I have chosen.
If you made up your mind not to listen to me, then there's nothing I can say that will convince you. I'm done with the conversation.
My lady, I will fight for you!
I'm not going to flee for my life. You need me to seal the wound, don't you? You think you've won? No. We have both lost.
What?
This!
Alright, so that was just phase one of the fight. Silly Suture.
Damn you!
Dispel. So 3 copies, it looks like.
Meeting.
Yep, 3 copies. Okay, she moved. Worth a shot. All right, no displacement left on her. No displacement. Perfect. Damn, son.
You're in my way. Are you still here?
Why couldn't you do that at range? The hell?
The light take you.
Oh, okay.
Make every strike count. Good guys always win.
What is that? Entangle? Vine trap. Alright, so we need a freedom of movement on her.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. I got this.
Well, that sucked.
You had your chance. Simply business. I must withdraw.
I thought you didn't want to lose me.
What is this? The hell? Arcane flames disappear in an instant, as if they were erased rather than extinguished. Body of Arilu, the architect of the world wound, betrayer of humanity, slumps to the floor, leaving you alone with their greatest work, the world wound. Time to play one final joke on everyone, except this time, I'm the punchline. The siphon, brimming with planar essence, explodes in a splatter of multicolored sparks. They wrap around you and drag you towards the edge of the rift, drowning the world in a cacophony of sounds and screams. The walls of the threshold shudder. The very fabric of reality is bursting at the seams. The titanic seams that are rapidly proliferating as Galarian is fused with a dozen other planes. So we threw the cauldron in and then we jumped in.
Should we rest now?
Nah. Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, the search for one's true path. The mind can comprehend all these, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it's time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period at the end of the last sentence. Or should it be an ellipses instead? An empty space where the description of the end result should be. After all, a century of crusades changed nothing. The gaping world wound remained on the face of Galarian. The world wound remained open, just like the wound that was slowly killing the commander. He managed to escape his impending death by becoming part of the enigmatic entity known as Shaika the Many. But at what cost? Did the commander's original personality persist, or did it dissolve in Shaika's numerous identities? What was once called the world wound turned into a crossroad of worlds, open to every outsider at once. Any mortal who ventured there was at constant risk of becoming collateral damage in the struggle between angels and demons, or between devils and Azetas, and only the Fae of the First World felt at home there. What kind of ending was that? No. It all went completely differently. Fine. The part about Shika is merely my own conjecture. Let me rephrase. The world wound remained open, just like the wound that was slowly killing the commander. However, he managed to escape his impending death by sharing his fate with the entity known as Shika the Many. What was once called the World Wound turned into the Crossroad of Worlds, a vibrant, inconceivable place bustling with outsiders. Instead of crusaders, the place was a hub that drew scientists, treasure hunters, merchants, and other collectors of curios from all over Galarian. I hope this narrative is to your liking. Then please do not interrupt. Allow me to finish writing up my report on this experiment. The council convened one last time to celebrate the glorious victory over Naticula and the transformation of the World Wound into the Crossroad of Worlds. Throughout the feast, the council members couldn't shake the nagging feeling that they had forgotten to invite someone to the party. But they were so preoccupied with toasting their own wisdom that they never remembered who it could be. The energetic King Thaberdine reigned over the married city of Dresden for many years. He was hailed as the finest monarch in the history of Galarian, as he never interfered in the affairs of the city, but simply hosted one festival after another, and the people say that he brought luck to any who raised a glass to his majesty's health. The Church of Caden Kalin revered him as a saint. As the leader of the Crusaders, the commander won their loyalty and obedience. Even in the Crusade's darkest hours, the commander found ways to restore armies' supply lines. His military acumen was beyond question. Under his leadership, the divided, poorly trained Crusader forces were reforged into an invincible army. Due to the success of the commander's diplomatic strategy, by the end of the war, Mendev's true political center was Dresden, not Nerosian. After gaining the support of foreign rulers and finding allies in the capital, Dresden became the shining example of the new Mendev, one that was nurtured by the commander's ideas. The significance and accomplishments of the crusade were so great that even a century after the end of the war, Dresden retained its prominence on the map of Avestan. The commander's diplomatic, military, and administrative talent turned the fortress into a key political player. Queen Galfur returned to Nerosian with the intent to rule Mendev as before, but as it turned out, Mendevian society was hungry for change. The war-ravaged nations desired new leadership. The queen would not countenance yielding her authority to anyone else. She believed her duty to her homeland had not yet been fulfilled. Quite a few Mendevians wanted to see Darren Arendelle inherit the throne. The wardstones from the chain that once guarded the borders of Mendev were carefully disassembled, one by one. The angels that had been trapped inside returned to heaven to heal their wounded spirits and prepare for new battles against evil. After suffering defeat at the commander's hands, Naticula disappeared into the shadows and lay low. Intuition told her that the world had changed, which meant that it was time for her to change as well. If a mortal could rise and claim the power of a demon lord, could a demonic ruler ascend and become a deity? The demon lord Baphomet suffered a defeat, but his ambitions were undimmed. The world wound remained open, and therefore, the war with Galarian was not over. The demon lord Discari suffered a defeat. He bided his time, continuing to plot his invasion of Galarian, and after that, of heaven itself. The cultists that remained on Galarian went mad one after another, tortured by the nightmarish dreams their lord sent to them. After the victory, there was only one thing Tirabades wanted to do: hang up their weapons and forget about war for good. After retiring from duty, they settled down somewhere in the wilderness of the River Kingdoms. They lived almost happily ever after. Every once in a while, Erebeth would freeze, blankly staring ahead of her, or wake up screaming. And Anivia would have to calm her down, telling her that the horrors of the Lost Chapel were behind them. For a time, the whereabouts of Nura were completely unknown. But then the River Kingdom saw the publication of her shocking book, To the Abyss and Back, The Crusade Through the Eyes of a Former Cultist. The book was banned in several countries, and a bounty was placed on Nura's head, but the elusive writer always escaped the clutches of the Inquisitors. Story worth millennia. What is that achievement? You helped the storyteller retain his lost memories and reunited him with one who is dear to him. Having rediscovered his own story, the storyteller renounced his fragile body to ascend to Pharasma's palace and become her usher. From that day onward, he took great care of the stories of all the souls that arrived at the court of the Lady of Graves. There in the hall of the Lady of Graves, the storyteller met the one who had been waiting for him, Kenny, thief of secrets, Ereshkigal's prisoner, old friend and well-meaning traitor. And never was there a reunion more treasured. Finian, a Pathfinder, who also happened to be a talking weapon, continued his travels in the hands of many warriors, seasoned and otherwise. Throughout the following centuries, he was lost in battle on a number of occasions, only to be found again in some fantastical treasure room on the other side of Galarian. Once again, Sela heard the call of the open road. Even after gaining mythic powers and coming face to face with a goddess and demon lords, she never stopped being a paladin and a wandering knight whose purpose was to help others. Having properly fulfilled his duty to the mongrels, and to his surprise avoided death, Lan was suddenly faced with a choice. What to do with his life now that it wasn't going to end anytime soon. His hesitation did not last long, and just a few months later, he went on a sea voyage to see the world he had saved. Ember joined the Redeemed Brotherhood. She never recognized herself as their leader or gave any orders, but her very presence inspired the former miscreants to perform great deeds. Over time, the Brotherhood grew into a major religious movement. Its preachers took a vow of poverty and walked the roads of Galarian, helping the needy, convincing villains to change their ways, and entreating both good and evil deities alike to be more merciful to mortal kind. Soon after the war, the tireless researcher of all things, researchable, embarked on a new journey. She had a sudden urge to know how long it would take to visit every nation on Galarian. The only evidence of the events that happened to her during the Fifth Crusade is a short article in the Encyclopedia Galarinica, recounting the great deeds of the commander, which led to the end of the dangerous plane merging experiment of Aurilu Vorlesh. Darren Arenday embraced his new life, one that was free of the other. He became more mature. His smile grew colder, and his choice of diversions more elaborate, and he acquired an imperious streak. Inquisitor Loder's blood seemed to have let darkness into Darren's soul, or had it always dwelt there? Whatever the case, in that darkness, he was free and happy as never before. To his own surprise, Woljuf became a war hero. Esteem and fame were shortly followed by great wealth. The Thiefling did not let his newfound fortune turn his head, but chose to invest the money in several profitable ventures and one charity for street urchins. Within a few years, his signature style came to include a top hat, a cane, and a bit of a belly. There was a lot of talk in the taverns of Absalom about the time, soon after the end of the war, when Woljuf appeared in the city in the company of Count Darren Arenday. It remains unclear whether Darren treated the Thiefling as a wayward younger brother or a court jester, but he took pleasure in showing him the world. After the victory, Soziel returned home together with his brother. Now a famed crusader hero, he humbly officiated at the Temple of Shalin, painted, grew sweet-smelling fruits, and made the best wine in the region. His kindly smile faded only when people asked him to recount his experiences in the war. He could not deny them, but he would speak without embellishment, so not a single listener would feel tempted to pick up a sword, and leave in search of a hero's glory. That's nice. When he returned home, Trevor restored the shield of Shaylin to its place in the church, and swore never to pick up a weapon again. He tried to rediscover his wood carving skills, but his wounded hands betrayed him, no longer willing to create beauty. The tormented fighter lived a quiet, peaceful life, helping his brother with his vineyard, all the while trying in vain to forget the horrors of the abyss. There was one person who took particular offense at the commander's final joke. Reginald Derange had not the slightest inkling that he would become an unwitting accomplice to turning the lands of the former Wound into an insane crossroad of worlds. The shock was so strong that it reversed Reginald's bleaching by at least 100 years. The gnome vowed to devote his life to rectifying the chaos caused by the commander. After the war, Greybor went off on his personal conquest. He traveled to Alushanira and killed 4 candidates for the position of the head of the Assassin's Guild, whereupon he rightfully took the position himself and became a preeminent figure in the Midnight Isles. Under his leadership, the guild prospered, and the denizens of many plains would shudder whenever they heard the innocent phrase, "Sweet dreams." Shayla had changed her nature, completely ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up residence in a small house away from their settlements. Shortly afterward, rumors began to spread. Some said there was a kind sorceress living in the cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint, and people would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time she earned their trust and friendship. What? Is this Pharasma?
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the world wound.
Okay.
I was defeated and fell at the hand of the one I had tried to transform. My experiment ended in failure, and my life ended along with it. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma, Lady of Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity. Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
Silence hangs over the boneyard. The Lady of Graves is weighing her decision, and it seems the entire universe is holding its breath, awaiting her pronouncement. Who would dare break the silence so absolute? I would. Intervene. Your consciousness coalesces into one whole, rejecting the oblivion of death. Your mythic powers are not entirely gone, and they entitle you to a say in this trial. Interesting. I appeal to your mercy. Of all the gods, Iomade was the only one to fight against the world wound. Even you, Pharasma, stood by and did nothing. Doesn't that suggest that the world wound was not so great a threat to the universe, and Arilu's crimes were not as heinous as they claimed? Your words hang in the air. They are heard, but they carry insufficient weight to change the verdict.
The
laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible. You wrought great evil, while it stemmed from the evil that was done to you. Your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. I shall send you to the Abyss, plane of pain and fury, suffering and privation. That which you have done to others will now be done to you. So be it.
I'm okay with this.
Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate. You have done the impossible, and you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. You have earned your peace.
Let's see if I can sneak around.
We've earned our peace. Okay, then. That's the game. That's the Trickster ending. Little underwhelming for the Trickster ending. Not bad. Not bad.